MrBeast is once again on the spotlight, and as per usual, not for a good reason. However, this time it's not his viewers and audience who are mad at him, but the authorities, and more specifically, the Mexican authorities. You see, MrBeast recently uploaded a video which has now been watched by over 60 million people, showcasing the ancient Mayan civilizations, which include sightseeing at pyramids. Now, you might think he got into some restricted areas, and that's why he's facing the backlash, but it's way more complicated than that. Being the biggest channel on the biggest video sharing platform comes with big responsibilities. That being said, his crew made sure they followed all the protocols and didn't break any trespassing laws during their visit and exploration. In fact, they wanted to be so sure that they're safe from a Mexican dungeon and hired a production company named Full Circle Media. But only if they knew what would happen next, they wouldn't partner up with Jimmy even in their wildest dreams. Now, long story short, the company applied through Mexico's tourism ministry for access to the Mayan ruins on behalf of Jimmy, coordinated the entire bureaucratic process with the Campeche state government, and requested additional approvals. They also got INAH involved, which stands for National Institute of Anthropology and History. They got special permission to film the ancient areas, and a task force was formed in order to supervise the shots and guide Jimmy's team through the sites. So what did exactly go wrong with this? Well, a week after the video went live, the official government account of INAH on X made a series of posts regarding the situation. They began by expressing their eagerness to accommodate guests and give them the opportunity to share their experiences through, quote, audiovisual proposals that contribute to the understanding and dissemination of Mexico's archaeological and cultural heritage. Though they then proceeded to say that they condemn those who, quote, for commercial gain and private profit dare to distort the value of archaeological sites, which are a legacy of our indigenous cultures and the pride of our nation, end of quote. Following these statements, they became more specific and said that the permit issued to Full Circle Media, representing MrBeast, did not authorize the publication of false information or the use of images of archaeological sites to advertise trademarks for private profit, and that the nation's heritage, which is public by nature, cannot be exploited by commercial enterprises. They finally closed their thread, mentioning that the INAH has filed an administrative lawsuit against Full Circle Media, and they demanded compensation for damages and a public retraction. In simpler words, the INAH got mad because Jimmy promoted his personal chocolate brand, Feastables. Specifically, a new product called Peanut Butter Cups was introduced toward the end of the video, and while that might seem like a normal advertisement, he did describe his product as, quote, the only Mayan-approved snack, which apparently was rage-baiting enough for the INAA to react, since there was no Feastables Peanut Butter Cups 2,000 years ago. Probably. But what was MrBeast's response to that? He was obviously very diplomatic and tried to de-escalate the situation at least to some extent by writing 3 days later on X, quote, I've seen a lot of stories about our recent video in Mexico and wanted to clear some false things being said. Me and my team have great respect for the Mexican and Mayan culture and people. We did this video to get people all over the world excited to learn more about their culture. Much like we did with our pyramids video, we are not and have never been sued by them, lol. They were aware of us mentioning Feastables in the video, but for respect of the sites, it was filmed off-site from any national monuments. The dinner scene where I made the Feastables joke was not near any Mayan temple. De-escalating were also the Leda Sansore's intentions, who is the governor of the Campeche state. She firstly responded to INA's initial announcement, expressing, quote, her regret that the benefits for Campeche are not considered, and also highlighted that the video represents enormous publicity for the state. She then kept defending Jimmy on other posts, saying how grateful she is for his presence to her state, and also noted that MrBeast brought a direct economic boost to local communities. But I guess two posts didn't grab his attention, so she made another one, this time directly tagging him and composing a 300-word essay, pretty much licking his beast. This time the awkwardness was enough for Jimmy to thank her in the replies, and mention that he had a phenomenal time showcasing Mayan culture. So after this public appreciation interaction between MrBeast and the governor, along with the majority of the comments supporting him, Jimmy appears to have dodged cancellation this time. But what about the production company? Well, the legal process is still ongoing and might be for a long time. The company might end up with huge fines and denial of future permits in the country, so seemingly we won't see anyone behind bars for this situation. But if Full Circle Media gets fined, who do you think should pay? Them or Jimmy? Write down your opinion in the comments and subscribe to not miss any new internet drama.